Hey guys, welcome to this video. This is an introduction on a just energy update on a light language video that I'll be posting next. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing this now moment with myself and with one another, and just being in this space. My intention with each other, my intention is to assist in raising the frequency and the vibration with one another and on Mother Earth, and just to share information that I get from my guides and about what's going on in our ascension journey together. In addition to that, my intention is always for the benevolence for all. I'm in a little bit of flow, major flow right now. It's the 9th of July. And I have to laugh because I've had so many synchronicities over the course of the last week. We're having a really huge influx of energies right now. It's palpable. I was in a session with a beautiful light worker, and all of a sudden we just got this huge flow of energy come in, and it was like, wow, something big just happened. And so when I was done, I said, well, I have to do a video. So I had other videos I was going to post, but this is going to just be the first one that I do, so I'll do them a little backwards. Either way, I wanted to show you some synchronicities that I was getting. I did a few videos that I have yet to post about ruby architecture, and I realize now why I was struggling with posting some of those, because the messages weren't, oh, sorry, I've got a microphone on too. I hope that doesn't make a bunch of strange noises that I hit it. Either way, I'm going to do a share screen. Essentially, I'm feeling this all throughout my entire body. It's not just one place. The heart is a very big, lots of that. But the message that I got when I was in session was essentially we're receiving a lot of additional throat and heart upgrades, but it's truly everything is being activated right now. So my ears were ringing, and it was a different type of ring. It was very deep. Head was hurting a little bit. Some brain stuff is going on. So for those of you out there who are really sensitive to all of this, you might be getting some really strong ascension symptoms. Last night, the plasma around and the veil was very thin. It felt like drink a lot of water. I'm still drinking my coffee. Not only could I see the plasma, I could see colors and sparkles and globules. It was really cool. And was getting a little bit of work done on me from my guidance team. So thank you, guidance team. You might feel physically exhausted. You might feel really energized. I feel like this is kind of one of those highs and lows. So again, doing what you can to take care of yourself over the course of this whole month, really, but this week especially is really important. So I'm going to go into not going into ascension symptoms and all that, because really it's different for everybody. I gave you just a list of things I experienced. That doesn't mean that it's going to be the same for you. So honoring where you're at and honoring where your neighbor is at is important as well. But what I've been seeing is essentially the messages that I got is like, we're getting all this help from the universe. It's like cosmic. I was seeing like Star Wars in a good way. Like when all the Luke Skywalker people come out of the sky. I can't remember the names right now. Sorry, guys. But they're sharing with me the shape. So if you ever looked at the shape of the fighter planes from, so funny. So you guys, this is all synchronistic. When you're in flow, when I'm in flow, sometimes it's better not to do a video because I'm all over the place. It's like, whoa. But what I'm seeing is essentially all of these fighter pilots coming in to bring us, they've entered the atmosphere and they are assisting us. So thanks, guys, all of our Jedis, right? So the Jedis are coming in, but there's a shape. If you look at a Jedi plane with the circle in the middle, and that's representative of the geometries that are assisting us. I think they're hyperboles, but that's in a hyperbolic form. I'm learning all this sacred geometry stuff, guys. So what happened was yesterday I did a video that I'll be posting in the next couple of days about the tree of life and the spheres, the singing of the spheres. I was getting all of these downloads. I wrote it in my blog maybe a few weeks ago, the singing of the spheres. I didn't name it that, but it's in one of the blogs that I wrote. So you guys are more than welcome to check that out. And I'm starting to now understand a little bit more of what that means. But what I'm seeing is this, and I talked about this in the other video I did about the fascia, that we're in this like ruby pink fascia. And I like to think of it as a crystal lattice work. It literally looks like lace. And I kept hearing weeks ago, Chantilly lace had a pretty face and a ponytail. So I was seeing in reference to this lace lattice work that's basically building around us. And we are part of that structure. So we are creating that structure. And that's been built. It's here. The other message that came through in this video that I'm about to post with the light language is that the old harmonics are dying out. They are not working anymore. So they might make some ruckus. Don't be distracted by them. Allow yourself to just be where you know the truth lies. Sorry, got that microphone on. Not what other people are telling you should be tuning your instruments to, and the instrument you should be playing, and how you should be playing it, and in what order you should be playing it, and what the basis is off of. It's an old geometry, it's an old reality, and this new ruby reality, this new ruby matrix is really what we're existing in now, and it's a different crystalline structure than it was before. And that's a whole other video, which eventually I'll get to, but this is going to be a short burst. The other thing that I was seeing is the shape of the crystalline structure. So I also got this reference to amethyst coming online. So I'll get more messages on that, I'm sure. But the ruby, the sapphire, the emerald, the amethyst, they all have a, I think it's a corundum base crystalline structure, which has a certain framework. And I think it's two different, a lattice work and also a crystal, well, I'll show you in a minute. That is a representation of what's going on in our body, in the earth, and in the matrix that makes up our reality, or the network, aka lattice work, that makes up our cognitive experience and experience in general. So our fascia is our body's entirely changing from essentially we're becoming more crystalline, right? And less, I did a video on that. I'll have to share that link. But I'm pausing for a moment. We're becoming more diamond-like. We are diamonds. We're embodying that diamond. And it's actually an opalescent. I kept getting reference to opals, which is like a fire stone, if that makes sense. So we're encompassing like a diamond or an opal, all of the many facets and essences of all of these other different crystalline structures. So while we might be in this ruby matrix, which I'll show you that representation, there are many different colors that exist within this ruby matrix architecture. The next one that will be activating and coming online from that perspective are going to be this opalescent star sapphire amethyst configuration, which is a future video that I'll be doing. I was just seeing people's crowns opening up in this amethyst golden frequency coming in up there. So I'm going to share a screen with you briefly and show you the lattice work that I'm seeing. So if you look at this, I kept having reference to a soccer ball in one of my videos I did a few months back. And here's the spheres I was talking about. This is magnesium and aluminum. So I'm seeing that spheres are singing in our bodies. And what I keep seeing them is I see them moving. So picture all these little spheres kind of bouncing off of each other. And this one goes over here, boing, and this one goes over here, boing, and then they light each other up, which is essentially what we're doing as starseeds with one another. And I see this as the lattice work, this right here. So here we are as spheres, and these are all they're singing. They're all creating a harmonic that is a different harmonic than what we've seen before. Now this is the ruby structure, okay? And remember a few videos ago, I drew a Rubik's Cube, and I was saying that's a play on words. It's a ruby cube. I didn't understand it then, but this is what I'm seeing now. So this Rubik's Cube, this not only represents, right now I'm not going to talk about dimensions and parallel realities. I will do that in a different video. I just want to bring awareness to the energies that I'm feeling right now. And essentially these are lighting up, and these are pathways. So as this lights up, think of a pinball machine. All right, and it lights up and it creates this network, which then crystallizes the structure. Or you can think of these as struts that hold together the architecture. And what they're showing me is this shape here, okay? And all of these are spinning, and they're harmonizing and creating a tone, an intonation. So there's so much more I could go with this. I'm just kind of seeing where my eyes are led. I drew that picture. I just deleted it or erased it yesterday, but it was on my whiteboard on the last few videos that I did. And it looked like this. And I kept seeing that. I didn't quite understand it. But essentially, we're star seeds. And this is what we've activated in our body as well as other things. So I'm going to pause this. And I also saw this kind of folding in over on each other. I'm going to see, I didn't screenshot it, but somebody sent me a video yesterday on Instagram, and in the video, I'll have to share that link. It was talking about, did I already talk about this? Guys, I'm so all over the place right now. But it was talking about the harmonics of the different platonic solids. And one sounds, when you bring it into a sphere, right? You bring it into a sound, a harmonic, it not only creates that shape, like what I just showed you, it creates a sound. Just like Om is a certain frequency and shape. So essentially what I'm seeing is our bodies, if you look at the video that I'm going to post about the, okay, I'll pause that really quickly. So I'm going to share that screen. And essentially I was seeing the tree of life and the Sephiroth. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Apologies on that. But if you look at it, which I'm going to share that picture, it looks like a crystal. And I just, oops, I'm going to share. I had just, so here it is, tree of life according to the Kabbalah. Oops. And I had been referring to nodes and centers in the body, or I was calling these links on the crystal nodes in architecture. And I didn't realize that the two were connected in my synchronicity, and it led me to this. It says consists of 10 nodes symbolizing different archetypes and 22 lines connecting the nodes. Now, I did another video, and so I'm not going to get into all of that right now because I don't have the picture behind me. But essentially what I saw is that this was not 10. It is now either 9 or 12. 9 according to the physicist Nassim Haramein. I got to learn how to pronounce your name properly, Nassim. Apologies. Or 12 according to other structures. And sometimes I see it as 12, but I could see the 9. Either way, I'm not a physicist, obviously, in this lifetime. I just see what I see, and I see them as being a 3, 6, 9, 12 architecture. And if you look at the structure, which I'm going to come back to that in just a moment. So fun. So I was not planning on going this deep into the rabbit hole with this video. I'm going to pause it here just because I was trying to keep this as short and sweet as I could about what I'm seeing happening in our bodies and about what's going on in the energies that are coming in. but it's all about crystals. It's all about those rubies and the amethyst and the sapphire and the well, diamond, of course, but also some opal flavor going on there. And I will share one other thing for those of you who like to nerd out with me on this stuff, because I keep going down the rabbit hole. And of course, this is supposed to be part of the flower of life. It talks about nodes, not only symbolizing different archetypes. I see this as literal, because if you look at that structure on, I just wanted to look up nodes because it gave me an option to do that, but then it doesn't show me anything. So if you look at the structure of the tree of life, and I did this in the video where I actually drew this, these are all shapes. This triangle and the square, and these are all connection points. And essentially I see this whole thing lighting up like a pinball machine. And that's what it feels like in the body too. And it says that the first historical instance of the modern diagram appeared centuries later in a Latin translation of Gates of Light. And there's so much more to this. Now, the Assyrians assigned values and specific numbers to their deities. And so all of these have a value and a number associated with it. Now, I see this as referential to this. Also, it says it includes two, in crystallography, the hexagonal crystal family is one of the 6 crystal families, which includes 2 crystal systems and 2 lattice systems. So hexagonal, trigonal, hexagonal, and rhombohedral. So the reason I wanted to share this is I was also getting references to dolomite, and I didn't know why. So as above, so below, this is what's going on with the earth as well. And in addition to that, I'm seeing that the fact that there's 2 and 2 is a marriage of, we're combining, and this has to do also with our DNA. And I could go on and on about all the shapes that I see in here. This is the pinwheel that I drew on a whiteboard 3 or 4 months ago. And in a nutshell, this just means that we're, oops, I don't know why I clicked on that, but okay, so it's a set of point groups in which the point group themselves and their corresponding space. I just have to laugh. So you guys, when you may be watching this and go, what is she talking about? But truly, it's all a frequency. Essentially, we're coming online. People are starting to really feel these energies, and it's really, really exciting. These crystalline structures, it's like we're building a brand new reality system, and essentially our system that we used to exist in is disintegrating. It's being dissolved and going into breaking down. And we're building our own architecture as that continues to break down. We're getting stronger and stronger and lighter. And these new shapes and sounds that are being omitted from our architecture as we attune to these frequencies and energies that are coming in is what's going on. We are embodying our light body, and we are having lots of help with our Jedis in our shape of the, I believe it's hyperbole, among other things, and these toroidal fields from all of our star brothers and sisters are helping us. And this is a great representation. I just said that I looked at that pinwheel and then accidentally clicked on this, which looks like a red and white pinwheel. And it looks like a flower with stars inside of it. The flower of life, the spheres, right, are exploding in light and creating lattice that is different geometries than what we have been sitting in before, okay? And this is parallel to what I'm talking about, because it says the point groups, a crystal system is a set of point groups in which the point groups themselves and their corresponding space groups are assigned to a lattice system. So I'm seeing that we're all grouping up and creating these lattice systems, and essentially we are the nodes holding the system together. That's simple, but not really. So there's a lot more that goes on to this, but I'm seeing a lot of references, and I'll go into this in a little bit more detail in another video. So drink a lot of water. Our carbon-based structure is really going through this crystalline upgrade. And so our body isn't, it's like, not quasi-crystals, or it might be, that word pops into my head, but it's like fire water. It's like an explosion going on within our chemical components that are essentially linking us up. So even we're the nodes holding together the lattice work and sending out energy into those lines, holding this ruby-like architecture, and then channeling it into the purple, the amethyst, the red, the ruby, the green, the emerald, the star sapphire, the blue, and it's somehow also connected to a six-pointed star, and that pulls it into me, what I see us being the six-pointed star, or the node, in relationship to the 9 points on the tree of life, or the 12 points on the tree of life. So that 6, 9, 12 connection, in a nutshell. And there's a lot more that I'm seeing, but I just wanted to share that briefly. So in love and light, you guys, have fun. Node it up. N-O-D-E. I know. Nerd it up. Me? Anyways, have fun being the star seeds and beautiful light workers that you are, and hopefully you guys are enjoying these activations and downloads, and thank you so much for just taking the time to watch these videos. I'm going to share that link of the music of the spheres that I literally listened to last night after recording a video about it that I didn't know what I was talking about, really. So I'll combine those two, and I love synchronicity. So thank you so much. In love and light, guys. Namaste.